Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Liverpool Football Club agree a 30 million euro deal for Bayern Munich midfielder Thiago Alcantara, one of the very best central midfielders in world football. This is a colossal signing. This is the difference between Liverpool retaining or losing their first title in 30 years. It is fantastic business from Jurgen Klopp. I'm glad for Liverpool fans that they caved in and finally just paid Bayern Munich what they wanted, paid the 30 million euros and got this deal done. To not sign Thiago, to potentially allow him to move to a rival club for such a small amount of money in the modern day game would have been a criminal act. I am disappointed. I am frustrated that he's going to a rival. Do not get it wrong. Do not get it twisted. But I will always congratulate good business when I see it. I'll always congratulate good work when I see it. I'll always praise a top quality player when I see one. Liverpool Football Club are now about to go and retain their Premier League title. This is fantastic business indeed. Liverpool fans, I want to hear from you. Someone says 27 million pounds, 30 million euros. Same thing. Liverpool, though, have done the right thing. They've tried to get the price lowered. They tried to negotiate to get this deal down for the past 6, 7, 8 weeks. Hasn't worked. They've decided that we cannot go into the new season without new quality being added to the team. They've done it. They've decided to stop trying to negotiate and push the price down. They're paying, I wouldn't say the valuation of the player, but they're paying the valuation that Bayern Munich have set in this climate, in this situation. Thiago Alcantara will be a Liverpool player next season. It is a huge deal. It is a huge piece of business. And, Liverpool fans should be so excited. David Ornstein broke the news, 30 million euros to be paid. We want to hear from you right about now. Call up on the Skype lines. But before you do that, please smash the like button. Please hit the share button as well. First up, we have Stephen on the show. Stephen's a Liverpool fan. Are you happy that you're finally paying the 30 million euros and getting your player?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm so... Waking up this morning to find that news was so relieving. You have no idea what it was like, because I just thought Liverpool weren't going to sign him, and the owners weren't going to do the business as they thought of, because of what they've done with Warner and all that. I'm just so relieved that they've done it, and it was really good to wake up this morning and go on my notifications saying Thiago fee agreed. But that was reported by James Pearce and Paul Joyce, which I'm extremely happy about. Sorry, I mean, I think now it's a big boost for the squad. I will definitely say it, but Paul Joyce said in his tweet, I don't know if you know that that whenever Thiago comes in, a midfielder will leave, and I don't know if that's Wijnaldum, but we'll just have to wait and see about that one. But overall, I'm very happy about that.
It's highly likely to be Wijnaldum. David Lynch was on this show only, I don't know, 7, 8 weeks ago, and quite literally said that. Just for a lot of people challenging me here, James Pearce, Paul Joyce, Fabrizio Romano, Marcus Christiansen of The Guardian, all reporting it's 27 million pounds or 30 million euros. Do yourselves a favour, Liverpool fans. Bask in the glory of signing one of the very best midfielders in the world. Bask in the glory of signing one of the very best midfielders in the world, and stop trying to lower the price by 2 million. Like, imagine your attention right now being trying to lower the price by 2 million pounds. You freaks, you genuine freaks. Enjoy it. Stephen, appreciate you coming on the show, mate. We've got man like Stroh with us now. Stroh, you've signed Thiago, 30 million euros. One of the best midfielders in the league. How you feeling, mate?
Listen, I've not been able to concentrate at work for the past to leave my desk a few times. I remember when it was initially a conversation between me and you, when you were live and you were like, the news initially broke out that they were holding contract talks and suddenly wanted to move to Liverpool, and I was like, it's just using us as leveraging. Listen, to finally get it over the line, this is a game changer. And everyone looks at the Van Dijk deal. Van Dijk wasn't classed as world class when we first brought him. That's why the transfer fee was always thrown back at us. Alisson, similar thing. Salah, similar thing. This is the first time, probably in my lifetime, we've gone out and got an actual established world class player. Like, this is a game changer for Liverpool going into the season. I mean, you've seen it, all the negativity online for the Liverpool fans just wanting to get this deal done. This gives us a massive lift. a huge boost in and around the club, in and around the players, going into a big game on Sunday. Exactly what we needed.
Yeah, no, mate, exactly. It's a massive one, and I don't know if he'll be ready to play that game, but just having him there, knowing it's coming, it's a boost for everybody. Just an update as well. Fabrizio has tweeted, Gareth Bale to Tottenham, here we go. Last details sorted with his salary, shared with Real Madrid. It's going to be something like an 80-20 split, I've read elsewhere. He'll complete his medicals and join on a one-year loan. The Regulon deal is done as well. That'll be announced tomorrow. What a big morning for Liverpool and Tottenham. The transfer market is heating up massively now. We've got Ram on the line with us as well. Ram, you've got your man finally. You must now be confident of retaining your Premier League title, mate.
Of course, man. Of course. Like Stroh said, I have to echo what Stroh said. He's one of the best midfielders in the world, man. Like, the way he plays football, the way he can switch to play, the way he's just so calm on the ball, which we've been needing for like the last couple of months, because the amount of times we kept on giving it away for some stupid reasons. I feel like with Thiago in right now, I think there'll be a level of calm in the midfield. And now there'll be a little bit less pressure on the fullbacks getting forward now, which is just great. It's just an overall great sign. It's been a great day for the club.
No doubt about it, mate. No excuses now. Must win, must retain. Again, my expectations on Liverpool winning the league were based on the fact that I've always said, look, I'm getting a lot of salt in the comments, but as everyone knows, I've always stated that you guys, do you know what's interesting? Like, people always have a go at me for my opinions on transfers happening. Pretty much every single Chelsea prediction I've made has happened in terms of, I think these 5 will happen. I think these 5 will go through. These ones will happen. Liverpool, I've said all along, I was so sure you were going to get Thiago. I was so sure about it. That's why I never allowed my hopes to get too high on us getting the Thiago deal done. David, I can't add you to the call, mate, because, again, something's wrong with your account. It doesn't let you join. Call merge is not supported. That's something to do your end, bro. You've got to look at your call merge settings. You've changed them, my bro. But you've got him now. And for me, the expectations have to be there to win the league. Go on, Stro. What you saying, bro?
No, because I was going to say, I just want to echo on a point you just made. So, obviously, I've seen a lot in the comments, and there's going to be a lot of stuff online. Thiago didn't turn down Manchester United. Let's just get things straight. Regulon didn't turn down Manchester United. Let's not get things let's get things straight from the beginning. If you look at the 2 deals specifically, Thiago's always had his heart set on Liverpool. That's been known from minute 1, right? The only issue was, could we get the deal done? Manchester United then obviously approached the agent. Look, I know he's got his heart set on Liverpool. If that doesn't happen and Liverpool pull out the deal, similar to the Timo Werner thing, what kind of wages are we talking about? Would it be interesting in joining United if the Liverpool thing doesn't happen? That's all that's happened. And with the Regulon deal, it's, listen, if Liverpool agreed to that deal with them clauses, I'd be fuming. I think United have done smart business there by walking away and looking for another left back. So I don't want to see the narrative of, Thiago turned down Liverpool.
Well, let me give you an example. Example. I've quote tweeted Dominic Booth at the Manchester Evening News, whose tweet says it has Thiago with an X next to it, Bale with an X next to it, Regulon with an X next to it, Sancho with an hourglass, right? And it says United are being left behind. You know, you're sitting there thinking, we didn't officially bid for Thiago. As you say, we made an inquiry, and he basically said, I'll be interested if Liverpool don't come in for me. So we kind of left it. We haven't been back in contact since, right? Gareth Bale was offered to us. We said no, too much salary, too injury prone. We were offered Regulon first, but we didn't want to have the buyback clauses in. But yet the media have twisted it into that, and that's what I'm angry with. And the media are twisting this into Man United have failed to sign all these players. What an absolute lie. And if any Man United fans are stupid enough to believe this, you don't deserve Man United Football Club. You're as bad for Man United as the Glazers.
And Terry,
it's a disgrace.
If you sign a player, apparently you don't need him don't need that specific player.
Yeah, and then when exactly. I've got Liverpool fans here defending Man United. When we signed Donny van der Beek, why are we signing players? When we refuse people, it's United are being left behind. See, if you can't see it by now that Man United are being hung out to dry by the mainstream media and sheeps and dickheads are falling for it, your mind's gone. KJ joins us now. KJ, what are you saying, bro?
I'm you know what, yeah, I'm a bit meh, you know what I'm saying? Like Thiago going to Liverpool, I've always thought that he was gonna go there anyway. So it's not really the fact that he's gone to Liverpool, not to us, that bothers me. Like that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's more the fact that like where's our movement? In the group chat, someone said, United will definitely get Sancho by the end of the week now. I'm like, no, fam, like that's not happening because Man United don't care about the board, don't care about what rivals are doing and the speed they're doing it at. We will go at our same snail pace that we always do, innit? And the Van der Beek deal, if Edwin van der Sar and Ollie weren't good friends, that deal would have took all summer too. So it's one of those ones where I'm like, I'm not like all the reports coming out saying this player rejected, that player rejected. I don't really care because I know the truth in it. Like I can actually use my brain and realize that that's not what the truth is. But for me, it's just like, yo, just start moving like a serious club, please, United. That's all I want. Just sign the players that we need in good amount of time. I'm not saying sign them all in like 3 days and like order them at the start of the window. No, to sign them in good time and let's get moving. That's all I want. And this club love to just take things slow. It's just the way we are.
And I agree with that, bro. And that element, I completely and utterly concur. But I even saw Rio Ferdinand today say something where I just thought, people's minds are, this is how scarred United fans are. He tweeted that he likes how Chelsea had done business because it's all done in silence. I'm sitting there thinking, I must have done about 1,000 videos on their transfer dealings weeks before they happened. If it was silent, I wouldn't have known about them. How did I know about it? Someone said, well, Rio don't watch your videos, Terry. I'm like, bro, I get my stories from the media. So they were out there. But what I think adds fuel to the fire is these things are always said. Every other club does things quietly. Look at Liverpool's deal for Thiago, with respect. It's been going on for 8 weeks, and you've been arguing over £3 million. But yet, it's seen now as, it is an amazing bit of business, but it's being looked at as Liverpool do brilliant business. It's like, bruv, you're arguing over £3 million. Also, where's the narrative that you caved into the price that Bayern Munich wanted? It's not happening. If we pay if tomorrow we paid 120 mil for Sancho, it will be at last United cave. And this is what I say to United fans: stay strong, because whatever we do, it's twisted into a negative. Like, honest to God, if somebody offered us Pele right now, listen, United, you can sign Pele for £2. Do you want him? If we said no, it'd be twisted into Pele rejects Man United. It really would. Even though man's 80 and not very well, it would still be twisted into a damn negative. Kai is now with us on the line. Kai, you are on mute, bro, but speak up, brother. I want to hear. Actually, before you speak, Kai, sorry, smash the like button for me, ladies and gentlemen. Dinesh here says, morning, Terry. The game against Chelsea, the present midfield will be on the game. Got a player who will be in the starting 11. I don't know if Thiago will go through by Sunday. There's a lot to happen by that point, but we will see. Another super chat from 40-year-old Virgil says, Terry, Liverpool have assembled the Fantastic Four. I like that. That's pretty cool. Although Genie's probably going to leave, so that isn't going to happen. Sports Guru says, super chat says, does the signing of Thiago make Liverpool favourites ahead of City? Current bookmakers have City as favourites. For me, categorically, yes. You can't be champions by the margin they were. Sign one of the best midfielders in the world. Keep your squad. Sign a good left-back backup and not be considered favourites. That, for me, is disrespectful to Liverpool Football Club. Kai, Liverpool now signed Thiago. Are you still confident of beating them this weekend and confident of finishing in front of them in the league? As a Chelsea fan, just so everyone knows.
You know what? Let me start talking about Thiago first, and then I'll go with the Chelsea thing. What a signing he is, man. His passing, vision, ball retention. What a player, man. Finally, Liverpool got a midfielder with a technical ability that is world-class rather than Hender's Sunday League class. 27 million. It's a good price, you know what I mean? But I guess the cafeteria lady is still waiting. Going to wait for her salary for another 3 months, man.
No, absolutely. It's one of them things, bro. I think you have to congratulate them. Do you know what's mad? In my comment section, because I've quoted that it's 30 million, all these Liverpool fans say, no, it's 20 million plus add-ons, rare. I'm like, that's literally... Why are people so obsessed with that? I really don't understand it. Every fan base tries to like make it sound like you're getting the player cheaper than you're paying for him. Like every credible journalist, even the Liverpool-based journalists, are saying it's 27 million pound or 30 million euros. So strange that you're trying to twist it. I don't get it. Tariq here says, as a Liverpool fan, COVID has hit every club if there was no COVID, Aubameyang would have gone to Barcelona a long time ago. That is a random comment for this stream, but thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, and look, fees might be a little higher, who knows? But don't you guys now feel as well the transfer window is really picking up now?
Yeah. But you know what it is. I think City is still favorite. Even the thing with Liverpool is they still have Matip as an option in defense, and Shaqiri as an option in attack, and Origi. You know that's not going to be good enough over the length of this season. I think the league overall improved massively. I think every team in the top 6 improved, even to the top 8. You know, with Everton and stuff. I think Liverpool needed more than that. I think for me, City are still favorite because of the overall squad they have.
So John Stones and Nicolas Otamendi. Like, I'd rather have Matip over them two because they're absolutely shocking. And like you got Benjamin Mendy, who's a left back, and Alexander Zinchenko, who's technically a midfielder playing as a left back.
But they're still going to get either Gimenez or.
I've been telling you, man, about these managers playing midfielders in the wrong position, fam. I've been saying it. Stop doing it. Stop playing midfielders everywhere. Get your midfielder out of goal, Pep. But yeah, no, I'm serious though. The Premier League is looking very, very, very good right now. Like in terms of the teams that they're going to be fielding, and you can only hope that we don't have a one-way race like we did before, and a couple of seasons before Man City. Let's hope that we can actually have 3-4 teams going in for the title, and we get just the best Premier League season we've had in a few years.
Yeah, look, I think that's absolutely true. We're going to get. I was saying earlier about the points total thing. You know, you think about. I haven't done the maths on it, right? But there's 380 games a season that are played. Every team plays 38 games. There's a maximum amount of points to be distributed, and I don't know what it is. It's I assume my math might be wrong here, but there's 380 games. There's 3 points available per game. So you times 300. So there's just over 1,000 points available each season, right? Divided by 20 teams. So there's only a certain amount of points that you can spread out amongst people. This is why points totals as a barometer in itself isn't the most important element, because if Everton and Leicester and Wolves are all better this season than last year, if Arsenal are better, if Tottenham are better, if Chelsea are better, if United are better, there is a train of thought to suggest that we all might take more points off of one another, which means your overall points total may not be as high as in peak. You could be better than you were, say, 5 years ago, but get less points because everybody around you is better at the same time. Does that make sense? And that's what I think is going to be intriguing about this year. And like I said, over the next 18 days, what United do, what Arsenal do, what City do. I mean, City should also be a massive focus here. They haven't signed anybody outside of 2 backup players yet. And
they haven't signed a replacement for Vincent Kompany that people have been criticizing them about.
No, exactly.
Yeah, they won't get the traction because it's Man City.
No, and I get that, and I don't care about the media attention as such. I'm just talking about them being considered favourites. You know, there's no replacement for Aguero, who's getting older. I don't think he's as good. He's still brilliant, but isn't as good as he was, right? They've lost Sane. There's been no direct replacement for him. Maybe Torres will be that guy. I don't know. But the point I'm making is they haven't really done too much yet. Arsenal have done some good business, but there's no marquee. Man United have got Donny van der Beek, but we need more. So what those 3 clubs do in the next 18 days, again, changes the whole dynamic of the season. Because if Sancho comes in, that changes everybody's opinion on United. If Aouar and Partey come to Arsenal, I mean, suddenly Arsenal, everyone go, wow, look what a window they've had. If City bring in
either Gimenez or Koulibaly.
Yeah, if they bring in one of those players and the top midfielder, I don't know who, I'm just throwing some names out there. Again, say they bring in Partey and they bring in Koulibaly. It's like, wow, City are ready to go now. That's what's so intriguing about it. And that's why I don't really worry too much about points total. I think it's an area you focus on. But if everybody improves, by the way, if all 3 of those teams pull in those players, right? Suddenly it's like, who the hell's going to make top 4? I'll be in a position where I'll be like, I actually don't know anymore. Genuinely. It'd be so hard to tell. 3 days ago, I had no idea that Tottenham were going to pull in these 2 signings. Now, these deals may not be good for the long-term future of Tottenham. That doesn't impact this season. You know, is Jose now sitting there a happy man? If Jose's a happy man, Tottenham could do
Jose's
business.
never a happy man, though.
Well, no,
Well,
that's
that's
nonsense.
always
Jose at Porto, Jose first time at Chelsea, Jose at Inter Milan,
Inter.
happy man. If Jose's a happy man, he delivers. Like I've said, his tactics and his style is fine. It's his application as a man. If he's now sitting there buzzing, who knows what he can do? If he's not, if he's still underneath it or he's still a very angry, upset man, nothing's going to change. But for me, these transfers, when I remove my frustration as a United fan, are massive. And I'm just going to quote a few people. Yes, Paul Joyce has confirmed that it's 20 million plus 5 million. Let me just go back to my tweet here because I read it. I re-quote it here. 20 million plus 5 million of add-ons. He's also said around 27 million in 2 different tweets. It varies between 25 and 30 million euros. It's pretty much what Bayern Munich wanted. You paid the money, accept it, be proud of it. You've got an amazing deal. Happy days on that. So from my point of view, like I've said before, massive deal. Stro, what's your expectations now, bro?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, did Stro go? Oh, so I didn't know it dropped out. David's with us now. David, give us your opinions, bruv.
It's a good signing on the face of it. I've said I'm not sure how it's going to fit the system, but that's Klopp's problem to deal with. He's a great player. But now for Liverpool, they have to win. There is no excuse anymore.
Yes. They've run out. They've most certainly run out of excuses. That I don't think that can be denied at all. 110% run out of excuses in terms of what I don't want to hear from Liverpool fans is underdogs or like we're not favourites for this, we're not favourites for that, we haven't done this, we haven't done that. I don't want to hear any more of that nonsense from Liverpool fans whatsoever. I don't want to hear that.
Who do you think is going to come into instead of?
Sorry?
Who do you think is going to come instead of in the Liverpool midfield?
Wijnaldum.
Gini Wijnaldum. I think Gini Wijnaldum will now leave. I think that's what will happen. In my opinion, I think he'll go simply because I don't know if he really wants to leave or not. I'm not 110% sure, but let's see. Let's see what's being. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know whether he truly wants to go or if he wants to stay. But I think he'll end up leaving the club. But Thiago has to play no matter what goes on, because at the end of the day, he is quite simply the best midfielder at Liverpool now, and that's for me is as close to a fact as you can get. He is legitimately that good. Sorry,
top 5 in the world.
In the Premier League. He's world class. Thiago is like one of my favorite.
Yeah. He's absolutely tip-top player, brilliant player. The expectation, and that's why the expectations for Liverpool now need to be high, because they don't need 4 or 5 players, because Liverpool are the best team in England, one of the best teams in the world. They've added a world-class midfielder. They've added a backup at left back. That should be. They probably need to look at, I think, a centre back backup. I feel
they need winger backup as well, because if Mane or Salah get injured,
that's what I'm saying. That's the only hindering thing.
The only thing I would say is a lot of people are saying, would Thiago play centrally though? If he said play centrally, what does that mean for Fabinho? I think there's lots of questions. I mean, what would you say, Ram, as a Liverpool fan? Because I don't think he's going to play on the left of a 3. Thiago, he has to play in the central areas. Do you think that Fabinho could cope moving into more of a Genie role, or what do you reckon?
I think he's going to change the system. I think he's going to put a double pivot in midfield. I think Fabinho will stick to what he's doing, which is the destroyer, and then next to him will be Thiago, be like a orchestrator. And I think Henderson will be like a workhorse, like the major workhorse.
10. Wait, you do know that means. Wait, you do know if you play a double pivot, that means Henderson's playing dropping.
Henderson's dropping,
6 and 8,
or he's dropping
like 2 6s and an 8.
That's
not what I think.
Pivot,
That's what I think.
So you're going to play defensive football?
2 defensive midfielders and 1 midfielder.
I don't know. That's my opinion. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think if you do the double pivot, Henderson gets dropped.
You're right. I'm about to say, you do know a double pivot is not 3-man midfield.
Nah, man.
Double pivot means 4-2-3-1. Huh?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1.
But with Henderson,
with Henderson at 10?
Yeah, man.
No, he's going to put Henderson up front. Bring Firmino back in.
Hang on, let me. I was just tweeting something.
No, Henderson's going back.
Hang on, Ram. Henderson is a 10.
Yeah.
Shut up, you pleb.
I swear, He just says that.
What are you talking about? Henderson is a hang on. And then what does Firmino do? Because Firmino's job is to drop into that hole. What's Firmino going to do? You're going to make him as an out-and-out striker?
He has to score some goals.
Pray for Liverpool if that happens.
Hang on, there's another one here. A Liverpool fan here with Super Chat says 4231. Great. James LFC 86. Who plays in the positions? Don't give us a formation. A few people saying, what about Fabinho in defense? Well, that means you're dropping Joe Gomez or Trent then. Or Trent, because he can play at fullback. So which of the... This is what I love about Liverpool fans, right? They back their club so much. They can't... Why would you... You wouldn't play Henderson as a 10.
Makes no sense. No. Hey, Terry, this is what he said. He said, we're going to play a double pivot with Fabinho and Thiago and then Henderson in the midfield. I was like, that's not a double pivot.
But that's the point.
That's midfield.
This is where it is, right? For me, he either goes into the Fabinho role and orchestrates as like a kind of quarterback type role, like we see him do for Spain, like we see him do at Bayern Munich, or you go into a double pivot where you have either him and Henderson or him and Fabinho next to one another in the midfield. But then you have to play a 10. I mean, you could play Ox in that position. You know, you got some
maybe
options.
Curtis Jones.
Maybe a Curtis Jones. You can do that.
If you said Naby Keita, it would have made more sense.
Naby Keita, yes. But this is the point. Whatever you do, if you're playing Thiago, somebody from your current system misses out, right? As in your main team. Gini, we think, is going to be one of the main 4 guys. However, you can't play, for me, Thiago in that left-hand side box-to-box 8 role like we see Gini doing. I don't think that's what he does. I don't think he's got the body to do that at his age, to be up and down like that in an intensive team. He might do. He might prove us all wrong. So what I love about Liverpool fans is they won't just put their hand on their heart and say, this is who I think is going to miss out. Somebody here says 4-3-3 with Keita, Fabinho, and Thiago. Like I said, maybe Fabinho can play an 8 role, but can he? I don't know. It's going to be so interesting. I'm so intrigued. But
it means you're dropping the guy who's been like the orchestrator of your system, who you all say if you don't play, you lose.
Yeah, but who did you want him to play over Thiago? Thiago benches him every day.
Yeah, no, but they all say, no, for me, the guy who drops out is Keita. You're going to have £60 million on bench.
But Keita's their backup.
Yeah, but the thing is, he never plays anyway. So.
But that's fine, right? The comment here from Sean C, one of our members, says, who cares? Have you seen the amount of games this season? True. There's going to be rotation. I understand that. What we're primarily focused on is what system do you think Liverpool play with Thiago in the team? And so far, Ram, who's a Liverpool fan, has said you play Henderson in midfield in a 2-man pivot. That's fine, but who misses out then? I don't get it.
Who misses out? I was going to say just comes in and replaces Wijnaldum, because Wijnaldum hasn't left yet.
Yeah, but you said that Henderson plays number 10. That is,
and my view is so. What I'm saying, and Ram, if you feel this, then say it. So you think that Thiago could play on the left-hand side of the 3 in the Gini role? But the reason I ask is that what he does now at Bayern Munich and for Spain? Is that what he's famed for?
That's what he did. Not now, but he did it when he was with Guardiola/Kovac. He did that. But I don't think...
Yeah, and how did it go for Kovac?
Well, how did it go for Guardiola? That's the main
look, and all we're asking is questions here. We're not going to catch anyone out. Super chat from Stephen says, Salah top, Firmino behind him, Hendo in Salah's position. Wow, Henderson going to Salah's position on the right-hand side of the attack is what one Liverpool fan here says. Let me do the super chats, boys. Let me do super chat. Second one here from Josh says 3-4-3. Alisson, Gomez, Van Dijk, and a new centre-back with Trent, Fabinho, Thiago, Robertson in a 4-man midfield, and then Mane, Firmino, Salah. That 3-4-3 formation could work.
But that's very, very out of Klopp's system kind of thing. I don't think he would adopt that.
Is it? But think about this though. When you attack and you've got both your fullbacks go forward at the same time, Fabinho or another midfield player will tend to drop into the positions that the fullbacks leave anyway. And this is the thing about set formations. They're worth focusing on, but they're always fluid within the game anyway. When you're attacking and defending, you sit in different positions. Well, that formation there of the 3-4-3 could actually work more if you put Fabinho into one of those centre-back roles and put Henderson in the middle with Thiago, with Trent.
I don't want Fabinho being a centre-back, man, honestly.
Why not?
But he's a CDM. I don't want him a centre-back.
Bro, he was a right-back for years.
Yeah, but I don't. I want Fabinho to play in his normal
Yeah,
position. We've
Ram,
seen it
Ram.
with Fernandinho when he played at centre back. Yeah, he's all right, but
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I don't
Ram. But
like it with the whole season. I want to
from what you've
culture
seen,
centre
Ram.
back.
Sorry to cut you off. Well, from what you've seen, Ram, of Fabinho's qualities, what says that he can't make a good centre back for you guys? Bearing in mind he has played centre back for you, man, before, and it's been fine.
Well, he has played centre back, and a couple of the games that he played at centre back, it was very different. It wasn't very assured, if you get what I mean. That's what I'm saying. If you look at Fernandinho when he moved from CDM to centre back,
but
City,
yeah,
it didn't look right. It didn't look assured.
yeah. But what you're not answering my question, Ram. What attributes of his game does not suit him being a centre back in a 3 or?
If you're going to narrow it down to attributes, I don't think there's any. But for me personally, I don't want to see him at centre back.
Okay.
So again, I understand where you're coming from, Ram. But again, like I say, Liverpool attack in most of the games they play in. Fabinho drops back into a very defensive role for large parts of the games anyway. And when you've got 3 at the back in a sort of 3-4-3 formation, you often have centre backs that push quite far forward anyway. I wouldn't worry too much in that formation under Klopp and Liverpool. I wouldn't be overly concerned about the set formation in your mind, because when it comes to the actual gameplay, you'll find that he's sitting quite often in what you would consider to be the CDM's area of the pitch anyway. So I wouldn't, if I was you, be overtly concerned about that. Mansour Ahmed here says genuinely thought it wasn't going to happen on how long it was taking, but well done, Liverpool. Proud. Done us proud. Absolutely. And look, I think Liverpool fans should be proud. You know, whether you believe the Paul Joyces that it's 20 million plus 5, whether you believe the Fabrizios that are saying it's 27 million pounds, all of that's nonsense. You've got the player, right? Everyone's going to believe something different. I personally try to believe the neutrals over the kind of the media that are based out of the club, because they'll always try and spin it. You know, we saw the way Arsenal have tried to spin this how Arsenal have tried to spin this Aubameyang news like he's playing for free, right? As an example. But Monster's right. Just happy to players there. That should be your only focus as Liverpool fans. Ches has joined us. Ches, you're a Chelsea fan. Liverpool have just made their big signing. One of the best signings of the summer, I would say, when you look at cost included. What's your opinions now of them defending their title?
I think we said this earlier. We said it before. We said like we were not joking around saying, "Oh, they don't get him, then it's going to be a bit tight." But now, like Sonny said earlier, it allows them to change up their system in games, and it literally will mean now that like, they can like dictate play a lot more than they was, especially against Leeds. They were struggling to dictate play, and they were just literally relying on like set pieces and stuff, which isn't them. So now with Thiago, like change the system, more possession based, a lot more like he's good at through balls and techier play. So it's going to be a bit harder for teams now to break them down. So I think it gives them a good chance to retain the title, if I'm being honest.
110%. The out-and-out favourites to me now. That pressure should be put on them. KJ, I want to come to you and talk Man United for a moment. I know you're trying your best to keep relaxed, and I understand that, and I respect you on that. Is it hard to right now? You see Liverpool pull off a signing. You see Bale and Reguilon come in at Tottenham. Arsenal have done some business. Chelsea have, of course, done an absolute madness. Is there this part of you that's thinking, you know, we need to do something now? We need to do something quick. We've got to pull our finger out, because even just for the feel-good factor, where's your head at right now as a United fan?
Yeah, I'm just like, like United about basically a PR club, innit? They love their PR. They love looking like the best by the bar. But right now, even if from a PR standpoint, they're not looking good. So I'm like, if you are about this PR thing, go sign Sancho or go make some movements for a left back like Tellers and keep it moving. Because right now, even if you sign Sancho, yes, I'll be happy and I'll be gassed. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, the rest of this window is unforgivable. Like the full excitement would be gone. They've just drained it out of the window again. And that's what Man United do. They drain the fun and excitement out of the transfer window because the way that we operate, the way that we move is not good enough. And now it's got to a point there where we've got to a point now where we can sign Sancho and still feel like we're not progressing.
But bro, is that
need? Like other than Sancho.
Yeah, but on that, just stay on that point for a minute. We'll go to your point in a minute, Kai. Do you think though that this is because the media talk about us so much? And what I mean by that is, like Rio Ferdinand's point, from Rio Ferdinand's perspective, Chelsea's deals have been quiet. Now we know on our platform here that hasn't been. I've been talking. I mean, David would make a joke every day. What are you talking about Kai Havertz again tomorrow, Terry? Like we've spoke about Chelsea deals all summer from May right through till now. Chelsea's transfer dealings have been as popular and frequent on this channel as Manchester United's. But there is a perception that Chelsea's were all done in complete silence. Liverpool's deal for Thiago, which is a relatively small one in monetary terms, has taken 8 weeks to get done. City have done nothing, but nobody is talking about them. Tottenham have just done a really bad deal for Reguilon, but it's being painted as an amazing piece of business. Arsenal have signed a youngster that no one knows how good he is, an old player on a 3-year deal, and made Aubameyang the highest paid player in the Premier League, and it's being celebrated. Do you not just think there's an element of fatigue in United fans? Because, you look at the Sancho deal. We spoke about it yesterday. Every day the media reinvents the story when nothing's actually changed. That isn't Man United. That's the media.
Yeah. I get, and I've said before, like the media love using our name because that's how they get their money, because their men are dying in it. So, like, I understand that point in terms of we see United news every day and it's always changing. We just get bored and fatigued from doing that. But my thing is as well, it's like, okay, cool, that happens, but United, what are you doing to rectify, like to go against that? You know what I mean? Like, Liverpool Football Club will have their cronies in the press making some BS story up, you know what I mean, that makes them seem good, and the Liverpool fans will eat it up. Same with Man City fans, if they have any. Same with Tottenham fans, you know what I mean? But it's because we do not believe
I get that.
in our club.
It's true, and that's where it comes. The scars are there, and that's where I think we need to be mindful, because every club has its press. Like Chelsea fans, they thorn over Matt Law, right?
So do you know what it is? I just deeped it. It's because your club has scarred your fans for so long.
Exactly, no, and I get that. So
that every single time there's a reason to moan at your club, your fans will use that as an excuse. And to be fair, to be fair on your fans, it actually makes sense because you haven't won a league in so long. It actually has been a long time now. And also,
7 years,
your club does paper over cracks. Like you will sign Jadon Sancho, I think, just to paper over cracks. And then fans will be like, "Oh yeah, we're appeased." And then during the season, you'll be like, "Why didn't we get a left back though?" Do you know what I mean? And then
but again, I get that. However, if we sign Jadon Sancho and we have Van der Beek and we have a really good season and improve on last year, you'll start to see that this is why I keep saying it. It's why I'm trying to stay calm, because we will heal the scars, but it's going to take time, because it's if we improve on last season going into this season. I made the point earlier. This isn't to try and defend Man United, but this is making a standpoint here in the sense of, look at the beginning of last season. Arsenal won the transfer window and were expected by most professionals and a lot of fans to make top 4 and be good, right? Chelsea were predicted to have an awful season. City were predicted to win their title back and retain their title again. Greatest team ever as an example. Man United completely written off. Nobody really expected Leicester to do what they did. In the grand scheme of things, almost the opposite happened in all of those areas as an example. So everyone said that Liverpool would go backwards because they didn't sign anybody, or a lot of people suggested that could happen. They still said top 4, but they were like, "Oh, they haven't signed anyone, it's dangerous." But Liverpool went on from strength to strength. Now, I'm not saying United are going to do the same thing because you've only bought in 1 player, maybe 2. But sometimes you just need to wait because we don't know how this is going to pan out. Like we said with Chip.
Sorry.
Go on, mate. Go on.
That's what I've always said. I'm going to reserve my full judgment and my full like assessment until the 6th of October, because I'm like, if I start ranting now, like fully going in and having all the smoke that I've got for United's board, having it now, but then they go secure Sancho and they tell us, and if by some miracle another player, I'm just gonna look like a fool. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just waiting
Yeah.
to see what we do because it could happen.
Yeah.
To be fair, there is an argument.
What the
KJ,
issue
yeah.
is, what the issue is, like as United fans, we are always looking for the board and United to heal the scars to heal in one window, and that's our issue. It's not going to happen in one window. We need to just literally let the process happen, where in a few windows time we can have that trust again, because everyone expects it. Oh, we've had a good season, so in one window we're going to sign X, Y, Z in quick succession, and it's going to be beautiful. Like we ain't gonna get this healing in one window. Like it's gonna need to take time. And what happens with United is we always show signs of promise. That Van der Beek deal, I was kind of like, yo, like, are we now starting to move like a proper club? And then time goes on, and it turns back to normal. So it shows that,
and again, and
deals
that's
like Van der Beek are anomalies in the way we do things.
Yeah, but from that point of view, KJ, that's because again we don't have full trust in our club and our board. We know that since the start of the January window until now, I read something recently that United have been linked with 237 players by the media, and there's no way that we are seriously looking at 237 players. The point is, it's 60%. 60% of posts about Premier League football involve Man United globally, right? That is how big. I know rival fans hate hearing it, but these are official. That was 2008. May have changed slightly since then. That's how big Man United are. We make money for everybody, right? If Man United ceased existing tomorrow, every single club would be affected financially because TV companies globally would stop spending as much money on the league. By the way, if Liverpool fell out, if Arsenal fell out, there'd also be a dip, but not as significantly as Man United. We are that potent, whether we're winning titles or we're not. So we're linked with lots of people. And then what happens is vanity. I want this guy. I love this player. He's in my FIFA team. He's in my fantasy. Oh, please get him. We're not even interested. And when it doesn't happen, we're like, how dare we not sign him? Because we got our hopes up. What I would sometimes love, and you're never going to get it, but I'd love it, is for Ollie to come out and be like, at the end of it, go, yeah, we were only looking at these three players all summer. All those other links were just complete. But like, I'd almost like Man United to ban the journalists that keep writing these lies. Almost, because that's what Fergie would have done. Like, Fergie used to come out quite often and be like, not even looking at that player. What are you talking about? You always knew when we were looking at someone under Fergie because he'd stay quiet about it. But for me, there's just this element of because it's always in our faces, it's rammed down our throats, and there's those scars there. The way the Van der Beek deal was done was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I think with the Jadon side of things, we don't trust look at our media. So the Simon Peaches, Simon Stones. What are they tweeting about it? How often are they talking about Man United transfer targets all summer? Barely. So for me, it's like if you want to feel how Liverpool fans feel, ignore every other media outlet and just listen to Simon Stone, Simon Peach, and that's it. If you ignore, like Liverpool fans do, maybe that's why Liverpool fans have better peace of mind, because they just ignore everybody but those couple of guys. Do you get where I'm coming from? And
I don't know.
That's why I think
that's why I'm trying to change my view and on the transfer window and how we do things, because at the end of the day, there's no point of getting okay, everyone knows I love Alan Saint-Maximin. I would love him at United, but I'm not hoping to the point where if the transfer window closes and we haven't signed him, I'll get vexed because I'm like, I know we're not looking at him. So that's just my dream that I would love to have. But I'm trying to change my way I look at the transfer windows, because it's so easy to get sucked into all these different stories and then to start being negative about the club. And I see it on Twitter now, the people that I follow, I respect them and I respect their football opinions and they're funny people. But all it is right now is United are in the mud, United are trash. And I'm looking, I'm like, do I really want to see
this is how big and popular Man United are, right? Right now, if you look at sort of the top things trending in the UK across everything, Liverpool have just signed Thiago, one of the best midfielders in the world. Tottenham are re-signing Bale, and they've got the Reguilon deal going through as an example. And in the top 5 trends are Glazers out, Woodward's name, and United. Man United are trending because our rivals sign players. My point, we make the money. We are the center of attention, even when your clubs are signing people. Go and look at the amount of times. Just look for this and you'll see it. Every time a player, this is why they link us to lots of players as well. There's a business angle to it. Link Man United to Joe Bloggs. When Joe Bloggs signs for Palace, the headline is Palace signed Man United target Joe Bloggs. The Man United being in the title of that generates the clicks. And then what happens is it's a sign of it's like a squirrel hibernating. They put that nut away for later, because then what they do, if that player's killing it at Crystal Palace, there's that this player was linked with Man United. He's killing it at Palace. Should United have signed him anyway? And it's like, well, we weren't even looking at him in the first place, but you'll use it as a tool 6 months, a year later to again create traffic towards an article you make by using Manchester United's name. I swear, if you had to pay to use Man United's name in an article, it should all go away, because the media would be like, we can't use their name anymore unless there's a serious link. I'm serious. It's United fans need to understand that, yes, we're scarred. Yes, our club hasn't been run right, but we get used and abused by these papers and these websites every single day. But imagine, like I say, right now, Liverpool make their biggest signing of the summer. This is arguably the best signing of the summer, unless the Sancho deal goes through. But Man United are trending and not you. That's not because Liverpool was small. Liverpool are an amazing football club, a rich heritage, best team in England, wonderful team. But when it comes to the grand scheme of things, United dominate the airways. And that's why you're never going to get away from it. And United fans need to develop one thing, a very thick skin. They've got to back their club, and they've got to understand whatever we do, it will be twisted into a negative. When we sign Sancho, it will be United caved, right? We then could have all our credible journalists say, well, no, actually, it's 80 million up front and the rest is add-ons. Every rival fan will reject that and go, no, it's 120 million cash up front. And you had to kiss the shoes of every single director at Borussia Dortmund. And you had to buy Sancho's mum and dad and brothers a house. And you had to fly his dogs over and pay for their quarantine before they're allowed back into the country. That's how it'll get painted. Like, genuinely, right? So for me, develop that thick skin, take it on the chin. The reason it happens is because we're massive. We are huge.
Yeah. The skin, don't worry, the skin is thick, but I think sometimes it's normal to have those wobbles, you know what I'm saying? The moments of doubt. But when I breathe again, when I take 2 seconds to refocus, man's good again, isn't it? So the thick skin's there, just right now, it's just one of those little.
The only thing,
you get a lick at the back of your neck, it stings a little.
The only thing I would say, is the thing is that, you know, you man are saying, like, you're not expecting your club to like make bare signings and progress forward in the way you want them to, but like you have to be patient. The thing is, other clubs won't like have the same pace as you. Like, for example, Chelsea, even Liverpool, even though they didn't sign anyone last year, they signed a world-class, which was one of the best in the world. And Tottenham are actually making signings, even though if buyback clause, you can laugh. They're still making signings. They need to cover their areas. Yeah. And Man City, I reckon, will still cover. So my point is that like, even though you guys are in your own pace, I don't think the pace has been quick enough to catch up.
And I understand that. I do understand that. And I still think United will pull off a signing or two this summer. We've signed a top class midfielder this window. That's happened. That's been done. We signed one of the best attacking midfielders in the world in January, just gone. We've got a fourth choice striker in Igalo. We signed one of the best right backs in the country, one of the best centre backs in the country last summer. We're keeping we're going to keep Paul Pogba, right? Everyone's celebrating Arsenal keeping Aubameyang. Where's the celebrations of Man United keeping Paul Pogba? The energy isn't the same. You know, what Chelsea have done, by the time this window ends, if Man United pull off their final 2 signings, over the last 2 windows, from the summer last year till now, Chelsea and Man United have signed the same amount of players. You've just done it in one window because you were banned. So we are moving at the same pace. It's just what's happened is you've accumulated yours in one go. You know, it really, if we don't sign anybody else, then your point stands up. But until then, it is where it is. Liverpool have signed one.
Yeah, I'm just saying
where I'm coming from.
Point stand, because as it stands on Saturday, you've only added 1 player more than when you finished last season. That's why fans are pissed.
Can I add on that? Yeah. Can I add on that? You see this window, though. This window, what people are underestimating is how many opportunities are in this window. Look at David Alaba with Bayern. Has 1 year on his contract and he refused to sign another one. And now it's opened another centre back that United can take. And look at the way Alex Telles is. 25 million for the quality of this kind of left back. You know what I mean? This window is still hot, you know, and it's getting harder and harder with better players with days gone by. United still have a chance to fix all their problems in a week, because you have really cheap players that can go on a cheap with massive quality. Look at Thiago, right? 27 million for a player. Yeah, he's 29 and he has 1 year on his contract, which is kind of why he got for so cheap. But still, the quality is still going to improve the team. You know what I mean? So they still have so many chances to fix the problem that they have. So
that
United fans need to calm down. You know what I mean?
No, that is true. Literally, Kai, what you're saying is completely true. But again, like me and Terry have been talking about, it's the difference between most United fans and other clubs is the trust is on the floor. The belief and trust that we will take those opportunities in the last week of the window and get them done swiftly and smoothly. That trust is in there. Chelsea fans, you can do that if you wanted to. Man City fans, they trust their board would do what they need to do. Liverpool fans, I know they can trust their board with whatever what they do because they just won in the league. You know what I'm saying? So
no, and exactly, and I think that's the whole point here. It's about the trust in the board. But like I've said before, then we're moving goalposts again. You know, I'll give you an example of moving goalposts. 3 years ago, Liverpool fans said on my show, when you were playing brilliant football with Klopp but not winning anything, Liverpool fans said winning trophies is secondary to playing brilliant football. That phoned my show, not globally, just that phoned our show. United fans out there, playing good football was more important than winning when Jose was at our club. That's died recently. No one's saying that anymore. Man United fans, for years, let's not buy players that are not our number one targets. Even if we have to wait 1 year, 2 years, we get our number one targets. That means you could go a whole summer with signing nobody. How dare we not sign nobody? What do you want? You keep what happens. And this is where I will hold everyone. This is why people can call me salty. I don't care. I'm trying to stay true to what I've been saying for ages. I want us to sign the right players. That means we only sign one person in a window because the right signings we want were not available. You mentioned Alaba. Great. That only works if Alaba wants to come to Man United and Ollie sees him as part of what he thinks we need. Now, if he doesn't want to join United, you and I thinking he should come to United is just inconsequential. So for me, you either have to, how you know is by giving a manager his time. If over the next 2 years, we don't see progression and we don't see things move forward in Ollie, then we were right or wrong. The problem is what we want to do as fans is we want to react right now. It's always in the moment, how we think, how we feel. And I think it's a crazy notion to have. Like, you've got to put time and faith in what is being built. You can't just rush in and sign players willy-nilly, because you know what? We don't have the money that City do. City can go out and sign 3 or 4 fullbacks and a new goalie. They flop, and then they go out the next summer and buy more. Man United can't afford to do that. Chelsea, all your new signings could flop this year. Next summer, you could afford to go out and buy 3 or 4 more. We don't have that money because of the way we're structured. We should, but the Glazers take it out. So this notion that we can just buy, and what we did, we hemorrhaged. Everyone laughs at us. All of you laugh at us for spending £800 million since Fergie retired until Ollie came in and being trash. Now we're being more careful with how we spend our money. And what's everyone doing? You're trashing us.
Your money.
You're literally hypocrisizing yourselves. It isn't so. It's like, hang on. We rush into buying players and we spend loads of money. It doesn't work. We have no plan. We have a plan which is taking longer, and that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. You can't have it both ways. But you try to, because you're right. Rival fans, I get. You're always going to push and pull on the thread. It's about United fans being strong and sticking to the plan and knowing that we don't have the money that the Chelseas and the Cities do in terms of the bottomless pit. But at the same time, we've got to buy correctly. And if we have a target we want, but he doesn't want to join us, we then need to go, okay, well, we can't bring him in. Who's next? Oh, yeah. Option 2 isn't available through injury. Option 3 is nowhere near as good as option 1 and 2. Well, then let's just wait then. There's no point. I don't want to bring in any more Darmians. I don't want any more Schweinsteigers. I don't want any more Schneiderlins, any more Depays, any more Sanchez's. I don't want any more Di Marias. I don't want any more Delos. I don't want any more of these individuals. I don't want any more of these signings, which, that's 30 there, 28 there, 50 there, 60 there. And none of them work because we didn't get who we want. We didn't get a number 1 target or number 2 target. Let's go with number 3. Our number 3 is not available. Let's just buy someone. That's what we did. And now we're almost asking for that to happen again. Idiot. It's just absolutely idiotic.
United fans ain't used to it, Terry. United fans ain't used to it. I think within the next 2-3 years, if we continue to go on this road, which we should do at the end of the day, I'm not going to act like this is the worst thing that we're doing. We'll get used to it again. And then I think people will start to calm down and know that, this is the process we're going with now. But for like right now, it's we want to have a plan, but we also have to execute the plan perfectly, and nothing can go wrong, which is unfair, because no one in life has a plan and it perfectly goes to, like, it gets perfectly executed.
Yeah.
No,
you guys even have a director of football in that United. Can
No.
I ask that question?
No.
Everyone
You
knows
don't?
we don't. No, we don't. And we all know we don't. And look, that's a frustrating thing, which I wish we did have, but it isn't there. So that's the whole point. It's like you just got. This is the hand we've been dealt with. So this is what you do. Everyone who's tuning in, thank you. What I will say, let me end this stream again by saying, brilliant deal for Liverpool. Fantastic business for them. Absolute favourites. Comment here from Andy Stokes says, I love the show, bruv. As a Liverpool fan, keep up the great content. Thank you very much, Andy. I appreciate that hugely. We'll be back later on today. I'm not sure what time. We've done 2 streams already this morning, so probably have the afternoon off. 9 o'clock tonight, though, the big show. Chelsea versus Liverpool preview show coming up. We're going to have Kaya's going to be on, Monstar's on, Anita's on, the boys from the Coppish are on. We've got Alex on from the Cop TV. We've also got a new Chelsea fan joining us as well. A guy off Instagram that's going to be on there as well tonight. So make sure you're all tuning in. We're previewing Liverpool versus Chelsea. Biggest game of the weekend. The first top 6 clash of the season. It's going to be epic. It's going to be absolutely epic. It really is. Just good. When you look at top 6 clashes, there's an average of 3.7 of them a month. So there's every month we're going to have 2 or 3 of these big clashes as a general rule. It's going to be amazing. Plus, we know we're going to meet at times in Carling Cups, FA Cups, and maybe even Champions Leagues as well. If you're in the kind of elite categories in terms of that. I'm not sure who's making all that noise in the background, but there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, thank you very, very much as always. Smash that like button for us. Take care. Goodbye. God bless, and we'll see you all soon.